Hello, everyone. It's your favorite Haxley in the universe here, Haxley GV, and I'm here with Mai today. Jeffrey is not joining us, but she will.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? And also, I think you're the only Haxley in the universe.
That's why I'm everyone's favorite. We don't have to go into specifics on why.
But yeah, no, we're here to talk about some new media from the past week.
And what are our thoughts of on this torture?
Oh, Records of Ragnarok. Yeah.
That
Oh God.
that's what we're talking about today. So,
Uh,
um, I guess
I'll talk
general.
first. I'll
Well,
talk first about it.
let's give the general background information about this first.
I don't
So,
even really understand what it. I mean, I understand what it's about, but it's just so bad. It's so dumb.
So all over TikTok, I saw people excited this anime was coming out. They're because they loved the manga. The manga had amazing fight scenes. It's pretty much the gods have turned their backs on us, and they decided it's time to wipe the board clean, start all over again, and end humanity. But we're giving a chance to survive. It's what was it? Is it 7 on 10 on 10?
It's like 7 on 7, 10 on 10,
I think it's
something like
four.
that.
I think it's 14 first to 7 wins or something.
It's so
It's a lot of
wild.
battles. So many gods versus like the best people the human race has ever come up with, and they're fighting to the death in a tournament that will determine if the human race continues for another 1,000 years or ends.
Which I don't know why another 1,000 years. Why not just continue?
I was like, oh, so have the gods like voted like every 1,000 years, like one in the year 1,000, the year zero, the year B 1,000
I don't
BC.
know. Maybe it's on some random date. It's like it started on like 172 AD or something.
But yeah, it's a tournament battle manga. I wouldn't say shonen. It's just a tournament battle manga.
It's like they
And
tried to do a whole anime that was just the Dark Tournament from Yu Yu Hakusho.
I don't know if this
But bad.
I didn't read the manga, so I don't know if that's the case. But in the anime, we learn about this, and then episode two tournament, and like
Oh, episode one is in the tournament.
episode one. Okay, I'm like,
Yeah, like half of that. So I only watched like the first episode of the first like 5 minutes of the second episode, and I couldn't. And the first episode, there's like 15 minutes of exposition, and then they start into the tournament, and then the second episode it's just more exposition, and then I assume more tournament. But it was just I had so many problems with the first episode that I got to the exposition in the second episode, and I was like, I can't do this.
pretty much
Uh,
we learned the backstory of like each of the humans people, and like every match we have that whole explanation to get us attached to it. But like we only know them for this one match. Like we were never introduced to the team beforehand. We Unless you know your history, like there's really no reason for you to be attached to any of these characters, gods or otherwise, because like it doesn't really spend time on developing character. It's pretty much we're fighting. That's all this was about. So I don't know if the manga's like that, where it's just fighting. Forget the characters. We're fighting.
Yeah, I never felt captivated by the story. Also, like I probably made the mistake of watching it in English. I was
I watch
just
it
like
in English, so
watching.
I can't say anything either. Because like I watched it, and like I'm not. Before we started this, I was like, people are hating on this. We should do a show on this. And like, if I'm gonna hate this, I'm watching this in English, so I can go on the internet or be on my phone at the same time, so I don't have to pay that much attention to it.
The biggest thing that threw me off in the first episode is the first pronunciation of Brunhilde was correct, but only the first one.
They changed it every other time. I didn't even
They
notice this.
changed it every other time. And like I actually like my mythos. I like Norse mythos. I like Egyptian mythos. I like Greek mythos. And to hear Brunhilde just be referred to as Brynhilde and Brynhild and Brynhild and Brynhilde, I wanted to strangle somebody.
See, I'm
Um,
not familiar with Norse mythology, so it wasn't bugging me. It wasn't like it was something I was more familiar with like Greek. It was like maybe if they're saying Achilles or something.
yeah, it was just bad though. And then they the first battle with Thor's in the first battle.
Thor's in
And
the first battle against Lubu of like China. Like
Yeah, I forget
great.
what era.
Yeah, I forget what era too. I'm not familiar with Chinese history. I'm American, sadly, so we didn't
Yeah.
learn that much about them. I never heard of Lubu before this.
Yeah, same. And like all I remember while watching that fight too was like, one, why is Thor so pretty? Because he's not pretty.
I was like, why is Thor a ginger?
And why is he a redhead? Because like he's either a blonde or a brunette in almost every single telling. Why is he a redhead?
It's like he's not Irish. He's a Norse god. Why is he not like blonde and blue eyes?
There were redheaded people from the Norse, and like
okay,
like the Vikingers were black, brown, red, and blonde haired. But it really bothered me. Also, the unwieldy weapon is something a Norse would never have used. So why is the god wielding this unwieldy hammer? Like, it could be a two-handed hammer and not be unwieldy and make sense. But it was just so...
You didn't get that far. You didn't get that far to see the hammer awake, did you?
What? No.
Apparently, Thor is so strong. He has those gloves not to like protect him from the hammer, but to give his opponents like a handicap. Because if he touches with his bare hands, the hammer absorbs his energy and it awakens, and then the hammer transforms.
All right, I need to look at a picture of this. I just
it doesn't make it any better. Honestly, if anything, it gets bigger and more unwieldy. I'm waiting for him to look this picture up.
I'm watching the video of the awakening really quickly.
Okay.
All right, let's just skip ahead. This is the explanation you just gave. What? Why?
It just pulsates and grows like red parts.
Wow, I hate that. I hate so much about that. Why was this anime made? Who saw this and was like, this is a good idea?
I mean, it was very popular manga-wise, but it's like, it has to be popular just for the fight scenes. People were excited for the fight scenes, which is all this thing has to go for it. Because, like, it does not have character development or story, really.
Yeah, it's just not good.
So people were mad that the fight scenes were done terribly, because that's all this thing has going for it. People were calling it the PowerPoint of Ragnarok at some point.
I mean, it's not good.
See, you didn't even get to Zeus and Adam fight, and that people were most mad about that because it seemed like that's when they started running low on the budget, and the scenes were like so stationary, if anything.
It's just so bad.
But yeah,
how was this greenlit?
But yeah, we saw Thor take on Lubu with Thor winning it for the gods. Second up, we saw Adam from the Garden of Eden show up, the first human, fight the king of the gods, Zeus.
Like, he would know anything about hand-to-hand combat. He's the first human. Who's he fighting? Well, he's the first man.
Yeah, and his weapon of choice were brass knuckles.
What? No.
But at least something was like, he was the first human and he was made in God's image. So their thing was, he was made like a god. He had like god ability and body, so he could keep up with Zeus, speed and blow and everything. I was like, okay, that's cool. And when Zeus questioned him why he's fighting, he's like, who wouldn't fight to protect their children? Because he's the first man. Kind of adorable.
Ugh. All right, I think I'm done talking about this. I think I've exclaimed how much I do not like it enough.
But I'm not done. Next up was Poseidon versus someone, I forget his name. He was a Japanese samurai. That was the first fight the human won. The third match. And then the series ends at the start of the next match where it's Jack the Ripper versus Hercules.
Why would you choose Jack the Ripper to fight for you?
That's the thing. The crowd was like unsure if they should cheers. Like, are we really gonna try and cheer for a mass murder to save humanity? So yeah,
not just that. Like, he only ever murdered sex workers. Like, he wasn't a combatant. It made sense for Lubu because Lubu was apparently a combatant. Makes sense for a samurai because they're a combatant. Adam and Jack the Ripper make no fucking sense.
You know who doesn't make sense? Nikolai Tesla, and he was on the list of combatants.
Why? Why?
If anything,
No.
I'm wondering what does Nikola Tesla is gonna do in this? Why do we need him in a tournament?
He's gonna electrocute you or something. I don't know. Why? God.
I also want to know who he fights. If anything, he should have fought Zeus. Lightning to lightning. Come on.
Or Thor.
Or Thor. But yeah, Jack the Ripper versus Hercules was where it ended off. It was like so weird. I was like, that's not like an ending for a season. That's like a cliffhanger episode. Why'd you choose it to end at the start of their fight?
Because it's gonna get canceled. That's why.
And a lot of people were
already.
And the people were also mad about that because they said the Jack and Ripper and Hercules is like a great fight too. I was like, yeah, but you were already complaining that Zeus and Adam was terribly done. What makes you think they're gonna do better with Jack the Ripper and Hercules?
Yeah. Also, why is Hercules fighting for the gods? He's also a human. I mean, he's a demigod. So
yeah, I mean
that doesn't make sense.
What? He wasn't. I forget who was supposed to fight. Oh, I think Shiva was supposed to fight Jack the Ripper, but because Poseidon lost and died, the Greek gods were angry, so they changed up the lineup because like they want to get revenge on Poseidon's death, so they switch up the lineup and they're sending Hercules.
Don't play games you don't want to lose. Like,
I mean, to be fair, they were expecting to lose one fight. They were so sure humanity couldn't take on the gods.
Why would you leave it up to chance at all?
But yeah, this was terrible. If I had to give this a rating, I'm giving it a 2 out of 10, only because it made me laugh sometimes. But it's terribly done. There's no story. Animation's trash.
I'm giving it a 0.5 out of it, and the 0.5 is because the intro song was actually kind of dope. That's it.
Okay. Well, now you guys know. We do not recommend Record of Ragnarok unless you want just to laugh at it, see all the people get salty about a good manga getting ruined. Like, I'm sorry you doubt this manga was good. I feel like you guys just want to see people fight.
Yeah, no, that's 100% what it is.
But yeah, that's our show. That's us bashing on Record of Ragnarok. I'm Haxley GV. Go ahead and check me out on any of my social medias, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and I'm here with Mai today. Check her out at Mighty Is Woman. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And never bring up how to say don't ever mispronounce Brithildir to my Brithilda to my.
It wasn't even just that they mispronounced it. It was that they
they did it once correctly.
They changed it every time. I got it right once.
Man, I wonder how you felt when you met all the other Valkyries.
I mean, Brynhilda's important.
The only one I knew of was like Freya.
Freya's not a Valkyrie.
She's not? Okay, well then I don't know any Valkyries.
She's Odin's wife.
Okay, then I don't know anything about Norse mythology.